Hi, I'm Sherri McConnell from A Quilting Life. Welcome to the A Quilting Life podcast. You might notice that I'm sitting here with Billy today and not Chelsi.
Yep, hopefully you can notice that.
So, actually, Chelsi's just kind of been going the rounds with illness in her family. She's actually doing a lot better today, the day that we're recording, but now her kids have, her oldest daughter's had the stomach flu, and Chelsi just got over influenza, so we're handling it ourselves here today.
We told her to take the day off, and yeah.
But she is feeling much better already. So, okay. So first, we're going to start off and talk about our sponsor, Cozy Earth. We actually have some really fun things to say about Cozy Earth right now because we did a little Christmas shopping through Cozy Earth. We love their products. We started out with their sheets, and Cozy Earth sent us some fun products to try out during the holidays. And I am in love with their waffle towels and their bath sheet size. It is just this humongous, big, lovely, wonderful towel that I just absolutely love. And then I also got a new blanket from them, which I absolutely love. The size is perfect. Sometimes when you buy blankets for your bed, they're a little bit too small, and I love that the size is just perfect. And it's a knit blanket, so it's just, I have a quilt on my bed, but I need a blanket underneath too, and it's just the perfect weight and the perfect size. And I know Billy has some stuff to say too.
Yeah, like I mentioned in the last episode, they also sent me a pair of jogger pants for this upcoming year. And if I could choose one article of clothing the rest of my life, if I was asked, like, you can only wear one thing the rest of your life, the pants would definitely be jogger pants. I think those are my favorite things to. I mean, I know you can't wear them in like nice places and everything, but as far as like comfort and just, I don't know. The comfort is the key thing for me. I work a lot at home, obviously, so they're very nice. So I wear, I'm a size large in pretty much everything. They are a little baggier, looser. I like that. My brother, you bought him a pair for Christmas, and we're about the same size. I think he wants maybe something a little tighter fitting, so I think a medium would fit fine as well. So, but yeah, as far as like, they're my favorite pair of joggers now, and I have several others from other brands. So yeah,
that's good to hear.
Definitely happy with what they have. So
awesome.
If you have any sons, grandsons, anyone that's interested in jogger pants, I give you my full recommendation for
awesome.
This.
Yeah. And remember, you can use the code A Quilting Life for 35% off site-wide at Cozy Earth.
Yep.
Okay, so should I jump into the quilts?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yes, on the wall. Well, my entire office was decorated in Christmas, and I finally got it switched over to a more spring-like look, even though it's still winter. So I have Flower Shop on the wall, and it's in our Bountiful Blooms collection, but I actually kind of went with a flower theme when I was putting up the new quilt. So I love this quilt. There's also a mini wall hanging included in the pattern. And then on the table, I have Emma's Garden, which is with our Emma collection and has grandmother's flower garden, blocks, and patchwork. And just really, really love those. I maybe should mention the quilt behind me is Patchwork Garden too, and that's a jelly roll quilt. And that one behind me is with Summer Sweet. So you can see that it's a little bit more, the background is a little bit more ivory because we have a different tone once we switch to Emma's Garden and Bountiful Blooms. So
I could tell that the one on the ladder is before I ever started filming and working with you.
Oh,
right, because Summer Sweet.
It is. Mm-hmm. Yep, that was.
When you said that, I said I've never heard of it or seen it.
Yep, that was because that collection released. Well, we were working with it before the pandemic.
Okay.
So yep.
So
good notice. Okay.
Good deal. So I do have some listener quilts to share as well, and I brought this little laptop over here. We have Casper, the friendly ghost, is producing the episode today, so hopefully everything goes well. Also, I was going to say, a few episodes ago, when I had a malfunction with the camera, the one that was on my mom and sister, I did find out what happened with that. So it was a Bluetooth issue that actually turned it off that day. And now I learned from it, so it shouldn't happen again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have these. We have some listener quilts, like I said, and I actually discovered one that I believe I had not shared that was sent to us quite a while ago. The first one here, it is from Emily, and she says, after listening to your latest podcast, I knew I had to email you a picture of my version of the Letters to Santa quilt made with favorite things. I really loved putting this quilt together, and I was happy I was able to finish it just before Christmas. Maybe this will be a little nudge for you to start your version of this fun quilt. This fabric collection was perfect for this quilt, with all the small floral prints and different shades of red, green, and pink to choose from. And I have enough scraps from this and Fat Quarter Shop's Evergreen So Long that I'm going to make your candy boxes quilt next. So that the picture of that will be up, and yeah, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, it was so fun to get her email because this is a quilt I've been wanting to make, and I've mentioned it several times on different platforms that when Moda started that quilt along, I knew about favorite things, but I didn't have the fabric yet. And once I did have it, I couldn't quite share it yet. So I've been just waiting to make that quilt. And I think it's going to be something that I'm going to be working on all through the year this year and have it ready for next year.
Okay, so the next quilt that I'm going to share here is from Beverly, and it is Chelsi's Regal Pines quilt. This is great though. I took a closer look at the picture after I read this quick email, and I was like, wait, now I see what she's saying. So she said, "Love you and Chelsi's patterns. I was blessed to get Regal Pines completed. I added some visitors to the forest, named it Visitors to Regal Pines. This is for one of my son and daughter-in-laws." And you said she sent this on Christmas Day?
Yes.
She said,
yeah.
"Thank you, Merry Christmas," from Beverly. And as you see here on the screen, you can see that we have a little squirrel on the top tree, on the top row there. And we also have Sasquatch or Bigfoot roaming the forest on the bottom. So a little double take of that, and I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. I loved her fabrics that she used too. Very bright and colorful.
And then what I mentioned earlier is when I got Regal Pines, and I was, every once in a while, I feel like I lose an email or two, but I found one, and this is from Donna, and she also did a version of Regal Pines. So in case I didn't already share this, I wanted to show this as well. She said she wanted to forward us some pictures of her Regal Pines. It's a smaller version, quilt top. I sewed this during Chelsi Sew Along, and originally intended to make the large version, but the smaller wall hanging was made for a very specific and loving reason. So yeah, we're going to show those, and that turned out great as well. So Donna, in case, this was sent to us several months ago, I didn't intentionally mean to forget to show this on the podcast. And then I saw that and I said, wait, did I ever share that Regal Pines quilt? So we had a few Regal Pines quilts come in.
Yeah, it's been a popular
Chelsi did that
pattern. Yeah.
So
awesome.
Thank you for those quilts. Those are great.
Yeah. On our outline, it says, what's new with Sherri and Chelsi? Other than Chelsi trying to get healthy, we are sewing with new fabric, and that is kind of taking over everything. We've both got our patterns designed, and Chelsi actually, just from when we're recording this, she just finished up her designs, and I love hers as much as I love mine. So that's what you'll find us doing pretty much 24/7 when we're not doing other stuff, is just trying to get those quilts ready.
And then are you going to share, I don't think you mentioned the Swell Christmas yet.
Oh, I do have something to share. So I actually got a couple of gifts in the mail at Christmas time. One of them, I do not know who sent it. So if any of you sent it, maybe it was supposed to have a card and it didn't get included from the company, but we received a delicious sweet potato pie from a company back east, and it was absolutely amazing, but then there was no card in it. It was delicious. But then I received another package, and one of our listeners and viewers and a member of my Patreon group had commented that she had sent me something. And I asked her, did you send the sweet potato pie? Because that arrived first. And she said, no, I sent you something else. It should. And anyway, she then messaged me when it had been delivered. Anyway, she had heard me mention how much I wished I had purchased the kit with the Swell Christmas fabric that Chelsi has. And she found the panel that you need to make the quilt in that kit. She found the panel somewhere on Etsy, or I think, and she bought it and she sent it to me. And I was so thrilled because I actually have a lot of this fabric that I have just been hoarding, saving. And now I can make the quilt because the quilt pattern for the kit is actually a free Moda download. So because I have the fabric and because she found me the panel, I was able to download the pattern off the Moda website, and now I can make this quilt, and I'm so excited. So along with my Letters to Santa quilt, I will also be making the Swell Christmas quilt, thanks to Donna.
Wow. Yeah, I know. And my mom had told me about this earlier. She's very excited that you got that. These are hard to find then, right? These panels?
Because I had no idea. So, and anyway, that's another option. If you can't find a kit and you still want to make the kit, just look for the panel if you have the fabric. But I also imagine, because this pattern is free, if you could just get the panel, you could probably, if you don't have the fabric, you could probably find fabric that would work with it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, really, really excited about that. Oh. Thank you, Donna.
Awesome.
And it's Donna in Louisiana. And I'm so happy also she really got a lot of quilts done in 2023. She shared them with our group at the end of December. And she had been looking for a long arm quilter for a long time, and she found one. So I'm super excited that she found a quilter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, because it is later in January, but typically we have always done like a goals podcast at the first episode of each new year, or maybe the end of the previous year. But our last episode was obviously with Kimberly Jolly, and it seems like a lot of people enjoyed that episode and that interview. And a lot of people did mention they liked the true crime portion. Some other people
I was wondering
that are all, I mean, I knew that there would be a good amount of people that were also into true crime because it's the number one what do you call it category for podcasts.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, by a lot. Like true crime is one of the highest rated categories.
I better not listen to any because I have a feeling I would get addicted to that.
Yeah, and there's plenty of them out there. So that it wasn't a surprise to me that a lot of other people are like, I love true crime as well. Okay. So, but anyway, we had Kimberly on first. We talked all about the Make-A-Wish charity sew-along. So today we scheduled to do our goals podcast for this upcoming year. And obviously, because Chelsi's not here, she still wanted to participate. So she sent us her goals, everything we're going to talk about, and I'm going to relay them to you guys for her and then give you a couple of mine as well. So,
yeah.
But I'll let you go ahead first, Mom.
Okay.
And we're going to start with the goals, but quilt goals, business goals, and some personal goals.
Yeah, and it was interesting because she just emailed that to me this morning, and I read over it quickly, and she and I do have some similar goals in some of these categories, so this will be interesting. And because I had written my list down last night, and she used the same outline that Billy sent and listed hers, so it was really interesting. So anyway, quilt goals. The first thing is I really want to work on a work in progress each month. And this is something that a lot of people do. There are a lot of printables out there where you can record your works in progress or put them in your quilting planner and workbook or quilting planner or just a notebook. But last year in my Patreon group, we actually did that, and I gave everyone a different number every month. American Patchwork and Quilting does the same thing. A lot of other people do the same thing. But what was really interesting at the end of the year was how many people they worked on something. Maybe they didn't finish it, but they still felt good just working on it. So I just want to do that without the premise that I have to finish a work in progress every month, but that I just need to work on something every month from my list and then finish one a quarter. So I feel like that's really doable. So that's number 1. Billy only put 3 on here. I probably could do 12, but
yeah, I mean, I just for space. If I was going to say, if you have any more, then feel free to share those. And
okay.
Then, yeah.
I really want to do the Letters to Santa quilt along. We already talked about that. And now also the Swell Christmas quilt. So those are 2 Christmas quilts that I want to get done during the year and have them ready for Christmas 2024. And then I also want to make an orphan block quilt. I have all of these orphan blocks from when I pattern test my new patterns, and some are from a few sew-alongs that I never completed, but I used our fabrics. And I want to make a big scrappy orphan block quilt. So that's another big goal. And then one that is going to be accomplished very, very soon is to finish my village quilt. I have been working on this quilt for a while. It has fabric from every one of our collections in it. And I'm currently sewing with our 19th collection, so I'm going to put some of that in there. I'm going to get it done. I'm actually going to show it to you as soon as I can share that new collection. But I'm going to wait and bind it until we have the fabric from our 20th collection, because that way it will have fabric from 20 collections. But that's a big goal, and that one's almost done. I just need a few more blocks. And then lastly, I guess on this list is I want to also make a mini log cabin quilt that is quite a big size. So little 4-inch mini log cabin blocks, and we'll see how that goes.
That reminds me, did you ever get the other log cabin quilt situated between Chelsi and Candace?
I didn't. I need to take care of that.
I just thought about that because on the podcast, I remember I said, wait, Chelsi, you can't claim it yet. That's not fair. Candace isn't here.
Yes, I need to talk to Candace about that. I just gave Candace some dishes. I should have asked her about the quilt situation when I did that. Okay. Thank you.
That reminded me I need to follow up on that.
Okay. So those are the major quilt goals, along with sewing all of the new quilts that I've, I'm doing 6 new quilts with this collection that we're sharing in March. And then I've got some other quilts for another big project that I need to do. And then in the summer, be making more quilts. But so those are just kind of givens.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone knows you were going to make some quilts this year. I'll jump into Chelsi's quilt goals right now. I'll give you a little breather here. So for her goals, she said she wanted to keep creating quilts and fabrics that she loves. But she added a note here that she wants to push herself creatively, even if that means trying new techniques or something new artistically, or I think drawing something or doing something new artistically. That's what she said. Yeah. So I mean, I know because she does with the prints and everything. I mean, she does a lot of this hand drawn.
Right.
So that makes sense. Then she wants to maybe try something new. I mean, are there prints where you reuse them from another collection? Or are these always a new fabric line means she's drawing new florals and new designs?
The majority of them are new, but sometimes we will use something and scale it down. I think we've done that in this collection that's coming up. It's going to have a couple of prints from an earlier collection, but we made them smaller. But the majority of them are new. So
that's one thing I don't always think about, or it hits me every once in a while, is that Chelsi actually draws all this stuff. You know? And so
like this and this.
Do you do any drawing or no?
No, sometimes sometimes to try to tell her what I'm to communicate with her, I will do a rough drawing that probably looks like a kindergartner did it.
But you give her an idea.
But it gives her the idea, and then she can make it look good.
Oh, okay.
So I've done that a few times, and
Okay. She also said that she wants to do more videos this upcoming year with me on YouTube. So that is welcome on my side for sure. And then she wants to do 1 or 2 sew-alongs. I'm guessing that she meant like leading the sew-alongs
I think
in
that's what
2024.
I think that's what she means. Yeah.
And I think she did, because I know she did Regal Pines she did do 2 last year. She did Regal Pines
and All-American.
And All-American. Yeah, so she did 2 in 2023, so I'm guessing she wants to do at least 1, maybe 2 more in 2024.
I've got to finish my All-American quilt in Bountiful Blooms, so maybe I'll get that done one of these days.
And then I'll just do mine real quick too, because Chelsi and I, and this is actually another question I put, is there something that you intended to do in 2023 but didn't complete it, and you're like, nope, I'm going to do it this year? And so that's also, I guess, could be my quilt goal, is that same thing. Chelsi and I had a project. We talked about it all year. Every once in a while, I would see some comments that would bring it up. Hey, when are you guys doing it? You guys said you would. We never did, so that's a fail on my end there. But I still like the idea. I still want to do it with Chelsi. And so we'll set that goal again for 2024, that I'm going to do that project with Chelsi. And especially if, she wants to do more videos, that would work out perfect for both of us.
Yeah, and then you and I were actually talking about a quilt project that...
Yes. Mm-hmm.
A tutorial that I might let you work on a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The one we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
then
maybe we'll both do a video with
Yeah,
Billy.
I might as well do it. Yeah. Okay, so then the next one is more business goals. And go ahead and tell us what some of the things you're looking for the business side of your quilting.
Okay, so I noticed at the end of this year, this is something I did better in 2022 that I kind of let slide in 2023, but I was reviewing very regularly in 2022, and I got busy in 2023 and kind of let that slide. And so I really want to get back in the habit of reviewing what I've accomplished each week, because sometimes you just get behind and you think, what did I do? And if you don't take the time to review, you don't realize, I did a lot this week. It might not seem like I have a quilt to show for it, or I have this to show, but I did a lot of work. So I want to get back in the habit of reviewing regularly, weekly, for my business, not just my personal life. Another thing I want to do is clean my office daily. This is just a 15-minute or less straightening. I have found that I'm much more productive in my office when it's clean, just like in my sewing room. So I try to do that in the sewing room. When I finish a project, I try to straighten it up, and then that kind of gives me a new energy to, get going on the next project. So I want to do that in my office too. So that was number 2. And then number 3 is to launch another course in our Quilting Life Academy. We have our first one, actually, is it starting today? So it's closed now, right?
Oh, yeah, 22nd. Yep.
Yes, so today's the first day of the course. For those people who signed up, it is closed now, and I have a wait list. I will run this course again one more time this year. But I also want to create a second course on organizing for my Quilting Life Academy and get that launched maybe early summer. So those are my business goals.
Okay.
Along with keeping up with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for Chelsi, she mentioned that she wanted to do better with time management. She wants to do better use of her time during her, quote, work window, which is, I'm guessing, when her kids are at school. She wants to schedule her day and set boundaries. Well, those are the things that she wants to implement. So I'm guessing she's going to give herself more set hours. When she's in there, she's working. When she's not, she's not.
Yeah. I feel like her work window actually got smaller this year because she has a middle schooler now who gets home earlier.
Yeah.
And I believe the middle schoolers here, I think she's home before 2:00. So
we're going to have to tell her to join an after school club or something.
Yeah. So I think it cut almost 2 hours off Chelsi's work day this year.
That makes sense. She's mentioned this before. She wants to continue doing her top 3. This has been and continues to be extremely effective for me, she said. So those are her main business goals. So top 3 and really buckling down with her work window.
Yes, I really love that top 3 program too. I feel like when I get really overwhelmed, if I just remind myself to stop and write down the 3 things that have to get done that day, and get them done, everything is fine. So such a good program.
All right. So I guess I can mention a couple of business. So my mom mentioned the Quilting Life Academy has started. So that's been good for me to work on as well. I've been working on, I do the video and editing for that as well. So I'm looking forward to doing more of those and just sort of see how everything goes, and where that can go from here. So it's exciting to see that. Maybe make a few tweaks here and there. Like I know there are more things that I can do on YouTube to, maybe even go into the shorts part of it.
I was going to ask you about that.
And you can reuse the content you've already made, take clips, use those as shorts, and those are sort of help to grow your channel a bit as far as, somebody might just see them randomly, or you can repost those on other places.
Right.
So that's one thing I'm going to look into doing, maybe tweaking a few other things to, just change it up a little bit. I think change is good sometimes in small ways. So yeah, those are some of my goals for this upcoming year.
Do you have work hours when you have filming days and you're not at your other job? Do you say I'm going to start at 10 and be done by 5 or?
I tell myself that I'm not very on top of it.
Okay.
I guess. So sometimes I might just work later into the day. And I've thought about that too, setting more. My schedule's a little crazy because the other job I work can be really busy or really slow. Yeah. So it's really, I'm sort of all over the place, but I manage it. But yeah, I've thought about that. Maybe setting more of a Chelsi did.
Stop time or.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now let's jump into personal goals and go ahead and tell everyone what some of your personal goals are this year.
Okay. So for personal goals, I kind of went 3 different routes. I did a health goal, a reading goal, and a household goal. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So for reading, I really did great in 2023 for reading. I read more books than I've ever read, I think, in quite a while, except maybe when I was in college. And I also did a pretty good job of recording and documenting the books that I'd read and using my book journal to write down some of my takeaways. But I really want to continue with that. I want to read at least 12 nonfiction books. And then I also want to read 6 novels. I really got away from novels for a while, and I'm super picky about novels, but last year I did read I read several novels. I probably read 6 novels in 2023, but the best one was Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. And so I'm going to read some more Ann Patchett because some of the other novels I read last year, they just weren't up to my standards. People like them, and there were a couple that were cute. I don't want to say what they are because I don't want to say anything bad about any novels, but I do want to read some more Ann Patchett. I really just fell in love with her writing with that book. So 12 nonfiction, 6 fiction. And then for health, I really want to make sure that I walk at least 30 minutes 5 days a week. And I've actually been doing this since about October. I feel like a few weeks before Quilt Market, I thought, oh, there's this dress that I wore back in 2019. I got to make sure it will fit. So I started doing October, November, December into January, I've really been doing well for almost 4 months now with my walking. But now I'm adding to that, cutting down on my sugar.
Always a good thing.
Yeah. And that is surprising how much sugar is in your diet anyway, just without adding it in.
Oh yeah. And then it's hard to quit it initially, but then if you can get through like a 2-week period of like really cutting it down, so no soda or candy or all those things, then it almost it flips the opposite, and you're like, it's sort of,
yes,
you push it away, like, oh, I don't need, that doesn't even sound good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but
yes,
it's hard to break through that.
Yeah.
And then it's curious because I've done that a couple times, and then I'm like, how did I fall back into it? It's just like a little slowly, maybe you're out, at a restaurant or something, and you have a piece of chocolate cake, and, I don't know, maybe that's how it happens. But once you do break that, then it almost turns to where it doesn't even look good anymore. Like, oh no, sweets don't sound good to me at all. It actually is turning me off. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
But it's hard to get through to that point.
Yeah. And it was hard during the holidays too, because my husband found this recipe for creme caramel, which is like a sort of like a flan or a custard.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was incredible. And he watched this YouTube video and learned how to make it perfectly. And then I did the research on the calories and the sugar in there. And I was like, I can't make that anymore. So that's the health. Keep walking, cut down on my sugar. Oh, and I am doing a little bit of strength training too.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm doing that. So maybe someday I'll talk about the program I'm doing with that. So
see how it goes, huh?
Yeah, it's going well so far. I just started it last week, but okay. And then there are two more, and they're in the household category. And one of them is I have these three little tiny, we have 3 bathrooms that I need to paint. And bathrooms are the worst thing to paint because there's more taping than there is painting. They're small. And we had somebody paint the ceilings when we moved in 4 years ago. And I was just like, oh, don't worry about painting those. I'll paint them. Well, that was dumb. I should have had the painter do it. Anyway, I'm going to get those bathrooms painted in 2024. And the other thing I want to do is organize my pantry. And by that, I mean taking absolutely everything out of the pantry and really organizing it.
Wow.
And yeah, and that's a goal because I feel like we got the pantry, new shelves in the pantry right before the pandemic hit. And then I feel like, I think we were all kind of like in a little bit of a hoarding state then because we didn't know when we were going to be able to get things.
It was hard to get meat in the grocery stores, water bottles. Yeah.
So I feel like I just bought things whenever I could and stuffed them in there, and it's not very well organized. So
that makes sense.
That's my other personal goal.
Yeah, because you moved in here right before everything was shutting down.
Yeah, we moved in here March 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Chelsi, she mentioned that she wants no phone/email for first hour of every morning. She says it's become quite a distraction. She can get lost and scrolling can be addicting. Great waste of time for me. And then to go off on that, because sometimes that happens to me too. Like if I get into something in the morning and then you go down a rabbit hole or something, then before you're like, holy cow, it's 10:30. I haven't done anything yet. So that can be bad. So she's going to focus on not doing anything for first hour and check that kind of stuff later. And then she also has health. She wants 30 minutes of daily activity, more home cooked meals more often, and she wants to do more journaling this year as well.
Oh, yeah. And when I saw her put journaling on there too, that was one I thought of too, and I just didn't write it down. So
oh, really?
I think Chelsi and I both like to do that.
So you're going to do some more journaling?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good deal. Well, my personal goals are, I guess, I want to do some more reading as well this year. I feel like last year I didn't get a whole lot done. I was pretty busy all of last year, but it's like I need to make some room for some more reading this upcoming year. I have plenty of books that I still need to read that I haven't got to. I don't need any new ones, but yeah, I want to do some more of that. And I think that's all I'll share for this time. I didn't think too much about those ones.
Okay. And then one unfinished thing from 2023, you already mentioned the video that you and Chelsi. I had on my list the village quilt because I really thought I would get that done before Christmas, and I didn't. So that's my first quarter quilt that has to get done.
Okay. Well, good deal. So then the next topic to wrap up this episode, we talked about goals, but just also wanted to have you guys give sort of an overview of what you see for 2024, not necessarily goals, but things that are upcoming and that perhaps the listeners might be interested in knowing. So like one of the first things and I know you've already mentioned, you have one fabric line that's going to be shared in March, you said?
Shared in March, and it will ship in the fallish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously Strawberry Lemonade is coming out very shortly if it hasn't already.
Right. By the time this airs, it might be shipping.
Okay.
Yes.
So that would be the only 2 physical fabric lines that would be coming out in 2024, right? That
Right.
people would be able to purchase.
Right.
Okay.
We have another one designed that we'll be sharing this summer, but it actually won't ship to stores until 2025.
2025.
But that one's all designed, and I'm super excited about that one too. So,
really?
yeah.
Okay. So that's with the fabric. And then what else? What are some other things that people might look forward to?
Yes, we do have some design deadlines for fabrics that will be shared in 2025. So we'll be working on that this year in 2024. I can't remember when Chelsi told me the first deadline was, but that is around the corner. We have, so that's it for fabric. Quilt-alongs you mentioned on here.
That's right.
So my Quilting Life block of the month is going along right now. We were super excited. We had a great viewership for that first
Great
video.
start to it, yeah.
Yeah. So we plan on doing tutorial style videos like that each month.
Showing something within each video.
Right. Yeah. So super excited about that. I'm actually going to get my February block made today. And then I'm still continuing the Moda Blockheads 5 sew along. Round 2 actually just started the first Wednesday in January. And I shared the first block. And this is 30 more blocks in this sew along. So if you haven't joined in yet, it's not too late. And you don't even have to go back and do the ones from the fall if you don't want to. You can just start with that first January block. And we're going to be sewing along with that all the way through July. So that's going on right now.
And there was the little channel hop that we did earlier this month as well, where my mom showed her past Moda Blockhead quilts.
Right.
And your current blocks that you had done, right?
Yes.
And so did a few other Moda designers.
Right. Yeah. That was Corey's idea. That was a great idea. And she got a few of us to participate. So there is actually a sew along starting next month. It's top secret for now. I will be sharing it on all my socials. I think it's the first Friday in February. I think it's the 2nd or the 3rd.
And is this something you're joining in on, or are you doing it? Or are you leading it, I should say?
Somebody else is doing it, but it's my quilt
okay.
pattern
Okay.
and quilt. So, and I'm going to make it again. That's how much I love this quilt, because the quilt that I made is with strawberry lemonade, and I'm going to make it scrappy with all of our fabrics.
Okay.
And
I think I remember you had mentioned that. I don't know if you ever said it publicly.
That's all I can really say
so
until February 3rd. But watch for a new sew along, and if you want to make it in strawberry lemonade, get a Fat 8th bundle.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't even know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
If she did tell me, I forgot, so I can't even drop any hints that would help anyone figure it out.
And I'm super excited. I just found out about that actually not too long ago, so that's been really fun to put that on my radar. The other sew along Chelsi and I are actually going to have a block of the month program that's going to start in the fall. Actually, when the fabric that we share in March ships in the fall,
that's what you want to do.
We're going to start another sew along.
Okay.
So that one just will be on your radar for next fall. And then also, I love Lisa Alexander's Celebrate with Quilts book. I believe there's a sew along for that starting soon, and I really want to keep up with that. I love.
Oh, okay. So you're going to join in.
I'm going to join in on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it for my sew-alongs. I know Chelsi has some planned. I don't think she answered that question.
Well, she did put them.
Did she itemize
because
them?
Earlier, she said she wanted to do one or two. So I think the ones she might look at are Botanical Remix and Summer Slice.
Oh, okay.
So
that's right.
She wrote these down here.
Okay.
Doing those on YouTube.
I do remember her saying Summer Slice. She was going to do a sew-along for that.
Okay. Yeah, so those are the ones that she mentioned as far as quilt-alongs, leading those. She didn't mention any, at least on here, about joining in on any at this time, so We'll see if she does or not.
Okay.
And then the last thing is you guys are planning on Quilt Market again,
yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah. That we are super excited about Quilt Market. It was so good to get back last year and really excited to go again. I actually had a fun day the other day. I was in St. George doing some errands, and I actually got a text message from Vanessa Gertzen
while you were there,
while I was there, asking me just a random question. And I answered the question. I said, hey, by the way, I'm pretty close to where you live. And And so she said, hey, let's go to lunch. So that was super fun. We were able to go to lunch, and that's one of the things we talked about was how great it was to be back at Quilt Market. So yes, definitely Chelsi and I will be at Quilt Market.
I think I'm gonna try to go this year.
Yes, that will be awesome.
Looking forward to that as well. Is that when your new fabric will be debuting too? Around that time, or have already been showed?
When we are at Quilt Market, we will probably have the collection that we share in the summer there. Mm-hmm. So it probably will have already been shown, but we'll have it there. Sort of like we did this year with Strawberry Lemonade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. All right. So, yeah, a lot to look forward to in 2024, a lot of good goals. And, yeah, I think just... I know you guys probably missed Chelsi, but, yeah, I think it was the best for her health and potentially ours. I actually got sick over the holidays too. Before Christmas, I caught something, and then after Christmas, I got more of a stomach. Like before, it was more of a
respiratory.
Yeah, respiratory, and then I got the stomach thing after, but now I feel pretty good. So. I'm good not having to go through that again. It's been felt like 3 years since I'd been sick before, so I wasn't used to it.
Yeah, no, we missed her today, but we actually will be back with you next Monday for the listener question episode, and she will be here for that, and that will be on Monday, January 29th.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably have already film that. We might even be filming it like the day this releases. So you're welcome to leave more questions, but they probably won't be answered in this next episode. But if you left any from the previous couple episodes, then you can probably see those ones on there. So
yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much for stopping by.